Does this sound bring up any nostalgia? You've probably been to McDonald's, and the company is synonymous with fast food. Let me tell you about the quote-unquote founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, and why he may be the business GOAT. When we think about the adventure of starting a business, often we see the overnight successes. The results are evident, but we don't see that night can last decades to build. Ray Kroc decided to embark on this adventure at the age of 52. Why can Kroc be considered the greatest of all time in his field? Ray represents everything that the American dream can be and is sold as. In addition, it highlights that successes can come at any age with the right timing, skill, perseverance, and luck. Hello, my name is Kevin Carr. I make handcrafted videos about business and psychology to help you make better business choices. Ray Kroc's story symbolizes the opportunistic and entrepreneurial cutthroat spirit that it often takes to succeed in business. Competition is necessary to innovate and keep yourself sharp. Now, a wrinkle in Kroc's story is that he, by all sources, could not cook and didn't come up with all the innovations that Mac and Dick McDonald discovered operating their local burger joints. The brothers implemented brilliant innovations in kitchen design, turning the kitchen into a well-oiled assembly line, teaching customers about the fast food concept that got them their food efficiently without the overhead of the dining experience, and simplifying the menu with the Pareto principle, essentially reducing their menu to the most popular items. So what did Ray Kroc contribute to the McDonald's we know today? One of the ingredients that Kroc brought to the enterprise was his years of selling experience that he cultivated over decades of being a traveling salesman across the country, selling paper cups and milkshake machines. In addition, all those years on the road, he was able to spend a lot of time at these food establishments and see how different restaurants operated. When he met the McDonald brothers, the light bulb turned on. He had kept his eyes open and saw an unmistakable opportunity to paint the country with golden arches. He had a vision and saw the potential of the McDonald brothers business. Kroc expanded the fine-tuned innovations of the McDonald brothers and utilized his attention to detail and salesmanship to get buy-in and capital from banks, future suppliers, and franchisees. Not only did he have an eye for the finer details, he also orchestrated the components of the McDonald's system like a software engineer, focusing on using a bottom-up approach. Essentially, this approach helps you focus on implementing on small parts of the overall system. Eventually, these individual brushstrokes build into a cohesive portrait. With this approach, he was able to focus on designing every part of this system to try to achieve three principles for McDonald's business: uniformity, simplicity, and value. No matter where in the world you go, you can order a Big Mac or chicken McNuggets and expect the same taste you are used to. This is all possible because Kroc was able to build the necessary relationships with his suppliers, employees, and franchisees to create this uniform system, what he referred to as the three necessary legs of the three-leg stool system. With Ray's guidance, McDonald's became the world's largest fast food chain. Wherever you go, you are safe knowing that you have a piece of home and the feeling of comfort nearby, like Starbucks. I'm sure if you've all been to an airport and seen the Starbucks line just be huge, that sense of comfort and familiarity is important. If you develop and then perfect a working system such as this, the system eventually runs itself. Making the brand memorable, the name also invoked a sense of familiarity and comfort. This comfort to know you can expect the same experience whenever you step into a McDonald's.
To me, it was all inclusive. It was Irish to the Irish. It sounded Scotch to the Scotch. It was a typical English-American word. It flowed. McDonald's. It was easy for the kids to say and remember. And I liked the sound of it. It sounded wholesome and it sounded genuine.
In one of his savvier moves, when Ray bought out the brothers from McDonald's as he was expanding, he made sure the name was part of the purchase. One other thing to mention is Kroc and his business partner Harry Sonburn's innovation of making McDonald's a real estate business, buying the land underneath a potential franchisees' locations and leasing it to them. It provided the necessary cash flow to acquire the necessary franchise fees to fuel the growth and expansion of the company. I will cover this more in depth in a future video. Now, personally, in my GOAT standings, Kroc is knocked down a peg because he did not honor a verbal agreement to pay the McDonald brothers a percentage of royalties when he bought the brothers out from the business for $2.7 million. A savvy business move, no doubt, and the brothers should have insisted on including this royalties promise in their contract. Personally, I value integrity in keeping your word. However, we can also not diminish that Kroc was able to turn a group of local burger joints into the global corporate fast food behemoth it is today. After hearing all of this, maybe you don't think Ray Kroc's contributions to making McDonald's the cultural icon it is today, because all the principles and strategies he developed and implemented either came from the McDonald's brothers or have become so commonplace that it borders on the obvious. But like a band like the Beatles, we take for granted the innovations that have become cliche. The Beatles, for example, brought to popular music innovations such as stadium rock, live music on international TV, loops, guitar feedback, backmasking, automatic double tracking, and finally, the creative album art that expanded on the themes of the album itself. Whoever writes the first playbook, their design appears outdated and cliche because everyone else copies them. For example, in movies, think of the training montage in Rocky or the slow time bullet speed CGI effect in The Matrix. Ray Kroc can be considered the business GOAT because he took the McDonald brothers' wonderful assembly line fast food innovation and rapidly expanded the business with his focus on uniformity of the customer experience and innovating on the fast food model, fueling growth by owning the real estate underneath the franchises themselves. Every current fast food chain copies from McDonald's playbook. Finally, looking into Ray Kroc's story, you do see a nuanced portrait on the American dream and the realities of how it is constructed. No one man builds everything by himself. A lot of success is collaboration, but what separated Ray Kroc was his focus on detail and seeing opportunities. Opportunities, once he saw, he single-mindedly focused on achieving with grit and perseverance, achieving success in the autumn of his life. However, we cannot discount the ruthless business practices Kroc had to use to build what he wanted. Ray Kroc can be considered the business GOAT because of the influence and impact he still has on modern business and our lives today. I bet if you surveyed most people on the street, they could easily rattle off 5 to 10 McDonald's products. That is how much McDonald's has affected our global consciousness. There's no denying the stamp Kroc placed on the world. Even if it may not have left the most beautiful mark, there are still some great lessons to learn from his story. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.